Hello, I'm Nora St. John, the Education Program Director for Balanced Body, and I'm here today to introduce you to the Pilates Allegro Reformer from Balanced Body. The Reformer is a unique piece of exercise equipment originally designed by Joseph Pilates to condition, strengthen, and tone every part of the body. It's a fabulous all-in-one exercise machine. So I'm going to introduce you to all the ways that we can adjust the new Allegro by starting here at the foot bar. So here we have the foot bar, the standing platform, the springs, the carriage, shoulder rest, headrest, straps, and the risers. So coming to this end, looking at the foot bar, we have the ability on the Allegro to adjust it both horizontally for clients who are taller or shorter, and also vertically to get different angles of play in terms of the hips and the knees and the ankles. So here we have it in its shortest position, it's closest to the carriage position. To adjust it horizontally, I pull out the black knobs, I twist them, you'll see how that then holds them in place. I'm going to slide it to its farthest position and slide it back. And then to put it back in place, I simply untwist the knobs, give it a little twist, and it's locked in place. Now, we're going to also adjust the vertical position of the foot bar. These knobs simply pull in, and there's a little pin that goes into the different holes as needed. This is the high position. This is the low position. This is an extra low position. And then this lets the foot bar get out of the way for exercises where you don't need it to be on, you're not going to be using it. Now, we prefer this position to this, which is where many people leave it for that low position. Let's just leave it in that lowest position. Here is our standing platform with some nice sticky material on it to keep it nice and secure. And then here we have the springs. The Reformer is adjusted by changing which springs are attached. There are 5 springs on the Allegro Reformer, and they come in 3 different colors. We have yellow, which is the lightest spring, blue, which is the medium spring, and red, which is the heaviest spring. Now, you can custom configure this with different combinations of springs if you like. To make one particular spring heavier, you simply take it and attach it to the mushroom or the little buttons that are up underneath the standing platform. There's also a green spring available, which would make it heavier if you're working with particularly strong clients. So there is this piece of the machine. Now we've got a nice padded carriage, and coming here onto the shoulder rests. We have some adjustments in the shoulder rests to make them either narrower or wider for clients who are smaller in the upper body or larger in the upper body, or for sitting exercises where the legs are going through the shoulder rests. So to adjust those, take my straps off. There's this black knob that you're simply going to unscrew, and not very far, just so that it's loose, and you can take a shoulder rest off. And I'll take the other shoulder rest off, and you'll notice that these are not symmetrical. So now if I switch them, I'm going to have it be a little bit wider. So here, if I just switch the right to the left and the left to the right, I have a bigger distance between the 2 shoulder rests. I'm going to tighten that back down. Now here we also have the headrest, which is adjustable for support and comfort of the head when people are lying supine. Here it's flat. I also have a halfway up position. There's a kickstand under here. And then I have all the way up. And that's just going to depend on the alignment of somebody's head and shoulders, and also will depend on the exercise that you're doing. The last part here to adjust is the straps. Now, this is a different adjustment than some straps have. This is called the soft touch system. So here, the straps are attached rope to rope instead of metal to metal, making them very quiet when they clank against the sides of the frame. To adjust these, it's very simple. I simply pull that out, and suddenly I have a strap and a rope. To put them back on, I'm simply going to take the strap, take the rope through the strap, take it to the end, and then slide my strap through to make a nice simple knot at the end. So that's how you attach the straps to the rope. Now, to adjust the length of the rope for different exercises, we can make these, first I'm going to make them longer. So to make them longer, I like to hold both of them in one hand just so that I make sure they stay even. Pop the ropes out of these cleats. So see, I just pushed my finger under and lifted them up. Then I'll pull the ropes as far as I need them to go. Then to lock them back down, I push my finger in, just like that, to the cleat, and I make sure that they're nice and even. That's how to make them longer. Now, if I want to shorten them, it's actually simpler. I just put them the length I want to put them, and I just pull on the ropes to give me a nice, even length. So there are all the major features and adjustments here. A couple of things that are additional that you can get for your reformer, should you move into other exercise options, would be the sitting box, which we have over here, the jump board, which has a nice cardio and cardiovascular and energetic component to the work, and also the full tower system with the mat, which turns the Allegro into both a reformer and a tower or Cadillac exercise machine, vastly increasing the number of exercises that are possible. So now we're going to show you how to stack these and to move them, should you need to do that. So first I'm going to come to this low one and show you how to move them. So you just come down, bending your knees, using good biomechanics, holding on to the end. Notice that there's wheels on the other end. And I can simply roll it this way or roll it this way. Then if you want to take it all the way up and have it standing up, let's say you're in a situation where you're not stacking them, but you're letting them come all the way upright to store. You want to make sure first that the foot bar is all the way forward, so it's all the way at this end of the machine, and that it's all the way up, so it's in the highest hole on the little trunnion plate, and that will provide the right support so that it stays balanced. Now I simply take up the machine, lifting it up, and it'll rest on its foot bar. Now, to be sure to do that carefully, so use your core, use your arms, be aware of what you're doing, and you've got a nice way to store your reformer upright should you need to do that. Now Miss Melissa Ulam is going to come join me and we'll show you how to stack the reformers on each other should you need to do that. Melissa, I'm going to have you take this side. So to do that, we'll take off the straps and undo our shoulder rests. The shoulder rests come down to this end, and there's a nice space where they just sit in some little grooves right in the frame there. Then we take out the risers. We'll put the pins back in. And there's two holes. You'll see Melissa that side and this side. We'll just put the straps on the carriage to get them out of the way. Take the shoulder rest or the headrest down. And then we'll come to this end. This is easiest to do if I move this a little this way. There we go. And slide that back in where it needs to go. And then we'll lift it up. To stack this, you'll see that Melissa's feet are going to go right on the standing platform, and then the other feet will go right on the frame of the machine. You'll also notice that that foot bar and this foot bar are at opposite ends. So that completes the introduction to the machine. Thank you so much for joining us.